morning to you out there. I hope you've been studying, irrespective of the fact that we are not in school properly. Please do study hard. Okay? So let's continue from the poem, Treasure of the Treasure Trove. We've been able to talk about the author, sorry, not the author, the playwright. The playwright, Ladewosunu. We said a little bit profile of him, then the background of the poem, all centers around rage and what it's capable of doing, then the setting that has to do with the totality of every human being, every individual, right, irrespective of the race, the gender. Then he talks also about the plot, what the poem is all about, the summary, the subject matter, alright? How, or the essence of life, the reason you are alive, what you're supposed to be doing, spreading happiness and goodness wherever you find yourself. And if you allow rage to take over your thoughts, it's going to manifest negatively in your life, not only in your life, in other people's life also. I think the poet also concludes by giving us warning, admonishing us to be careful how to guard our thoughts carefully so that it will not move towards the area that is going to be destructive to us and the people around us. I think that's how the poem concludes. Then today we're going to talk about the themes. What are the moral lessons? The central message of the poem. Number one is destructive impacts of rage. Yes, what is rage capable of doing? I told you that rage is just a word. It's not a human being. It doesn't have gun, it doesn't have knife. But it's capable of rendering one useless for life. And a lot of people useless for life. Before we do that, sorry, I gave you something to write. I forgot. It says, comment on, discuss the poem within the context of the background and setting of the poem. Remember, that's what I asked you to write. I hope you're writing it down in your books. Discuss the poem within the context of the background and the setting. What does that mean? Converse with your book, chat with your book, you're talking. Put all that talking inside your book, talk about it. Discuss this poem involving the background and the setting of this poem. How to do that? You can start by introducing the poem, treasure trove, which means beauty of life, the goodness of life, the good things of life, which is priceless. You can never buy goodness. You can never use millions of money to buy it. You have to practice it. Alright? So the backdrop of the poem, that's the background, is destructive power of rage. Rage is able to destroy gigantic effort made by any person within a second. Rage is capable of doing that. That's the background of the poem. Rage can destroy somebody's future. Rage can terminate someone's ability. Rage can also burn down millions and millions of structures. Rage is capable of doing that. But if this essence of life is treasured, the happiness of life is treasured, it can also preserve the essence of life. It can preserve happiness and goodness of life. So that's the background. And we also know that violent anger is a thing associated with every human being. That comes in the setting, the time, the place, but here it's limited only to human being. It is not only people in Abuja or people in the United Kingdom. Every human being around the world will involve the setting now. Who are the people involved? Which thing is involved? So you now include it. It's associated with every human creature, irrespective of age, gender, race, class, even animals. But specifically, this poem points towards human actions. Alright? So anger is universally attributed to human being, and it can occur anytime. There is no specific time. As far as you allow it, if you will it, it comes out anytime. Alright, so coming to the poem now, the evidence of the four I mentioned are inherent in the poem, as the poet carefully outlines the essence of life at the beginning of the poem. He says, what is the use of life if not to always strive to be a carrier and transporter of joy every step of one's way. We're just talking about it now. Alright? And how is it possible? How can this be possible? The poet also makes us to understand that it is possible through love and compassion. Once you have this in you, you can spread it everywhere you go. Then again, comes to rage being a thief. It is capable of destroying one's life. Once it is able to rob you of your life essence, yes. Once you are disrobed of the happiness of life, rage takes control of your life and it starts to do the damage. Alright? What happens? You spread sadness like Father Christmas. Father Christmas gives happiness, but you will give wickedness, envy, jealousy, everything bad. You'll be spreading it around you because rage has taken control of your life. Alright? As it's also observed, that anger affects everyone, as clearly seen from the setting, irrespective of the class, blah blah blah. So the poet equally advises that people should desist from baseless and empty thoughts because they are capable of instigating fear, which takes shape as rage and develops destructive power. Alright, then finally, just like the poet persona, as he concludes, I will strive to spread happiness wherever I find myself, so as to make heaven or paradise here on earth. You conclude your comments on that particular poem, the rage. Alright? I also ask you to give a detailed account of the poem. Here you have to say what the poem is all about, starting from the beginning, introduction to the end. Here, I don't think it's necessary for you to put your own opinion. Just give us the poem the way the poet arranges it, the way he arranges it. Just give the detail, what the poem is all about from the beginning till the end. There's no need putting your side comments or opinion, your views. Alright? So this is what is needed in this number 2 question. So that's that. Please keep filing your questions, your answers. It is necessary. So that when we resume fully, we will look at those, we look at them. Then going back to the themes, destructive impact of rage. I've been going on and on and on saying this. It's clearly there. It is glaring. It is not hidden. The bad things inherent in rage, they are there. They are there. This is the main theme of this poem. It is a glaring truth. Looking at the careful explanations of the poet, rage leads to unfulfilled life. Yes. What are the bad things that can come out from rage? It leads to unfulfilled life, as it steers one towards nowhere good except bitterness, sadness, unrestfulness, and poverty. Yes, rage is capable of doing that. The list is endless, as the poet clearly paints an ugly picture of rage, as he uses the phrase, rob you of life. Rage can rob you of life. Alright? Rage is also drags after someone, meaning that rage is something which spreads evil and destroys one life, then goes on to destroy other people's life as well, as it has nothing good to offer. Alright? It's also important to know that rage is not a human being that can possibly kill with gun or knife, but it has a very powerful destructive feature. Then again, one should therefore take caution of baseless thoughts, not to end up under the spell of rage destructive nets. You conclude that particular theme. Alright? When you talk about a particular theme, at the end of it, it is necessary that you kind of advise so that something good will come out. People will not go on living that particular way you're advising them against. Alright? Number 2 is the essence of life. Essence of life is also a theme in the poem. And what is it all about? It is quite obvious from the poem that the quality that makes life worth living is to strive always to fly flags of joy. Through what? Through love. You can also see this in the poem. So if this quality is maintained, there is no doubt that the purpose of human existence will be fulfilled. A person whose life is filled with anger cannot achieve the purpose of his existence. And this is because bitterness leads to unhealthy environments of hatred and wickedness. It is possible that this could be courtesy of one person who probably transfers anger from that person. It transfers to another person. Like that. It circulates. Alright? And it ends up destroying the essence of life. And what is the essence of life? To be happy. To be spreading happiness. Alright? It is therefore important and necessary for one to always spread the fragrance of happiness amidst people and everywhere, so as to uplift the essence of life. So that's that about this particular thing, the essence of life. And it's also good that if we are discussing about a particular theme, you can also lift lines from the poem. Lift the words of the persona or the poets. Some things that are important, I get me, pertaining that particular theme. You include it in your explanation. Alright? I have another one. The importance of shunning empty and evil thoughts. It's also one of the themes in the poem. You can also develop that. Positive thinking leads to goodness. Negative thinking leads to everything evil. So you shun empty thoughts. Alright, then we'll move on to language and styles in the poem. These are the poets use in writing this particular poem. And these are some you can find in the poem. Number 1 says diction. What's diction? Remember, diction says language. The language also the poet uses. And coming to this poem, when you read it, you find out that it's very, very simple. It's not that complicated at all. So the language is there, simple. It's easy to understand, and the poet's straightforwardness makes the message of the poem comprehensible, because the poem is very simple. So the message is very, very simple to understand. Alright, so an average English person, somebody that understands English literature very well. Alright, number 2, personification. You can see this also in the poem. And what is it all about? This poetic device gives a human attribute to an inanimate object. Personification is predominantly used in the poem. For instance, you can see in stanza 2, Red is said to be a thief that robs one of life. Alright, in stanza 2, yes, it is here, saying that Red is thief. Is Red human being? That is not a person, it's not a human being, but you are giving it a human attribute. Alright? It's also said that it drags rats after someone. It's not a human being that can carry something and be dragging it and carry it along. So Red is also giving an attribute of a human being. Red is also said to deny one of laughter, sweetness and joy, and even the ability of being charitable. All these things are personification. Red is giving everything possible that a human being can do. Then again, you see in stanza 4, Red also is said to be spreading toxic fumes. Who is capable of doing that? Human being. But rage is said to be able to do that. So all these are activities performed by a human being, but they are said to be carried out by rage, which is not a human being. So you see elements of the personification. Then the third one is the metaphor. And what is metaphor? Metaphor is making direct comparison. Like I told you, similar is she's as black as a goat, as black as charcoal. Similar. But metaphor, you say She is a charcoal. You are implying it directly. I get it. You are saying that she is, and not like. That means that you are saying there are elements of things that you see in her that makes you say that she's a charcoal. Maybe she's a wicked person, or maybe she has a very dark heart, very wicked heart. So there's hidden truth about that thing you are saying. So it has secondary meaning apart from the surface meaning. So here, in line 13 and 14, Red is compared to a thief of charity. Go through the poem, you will see it. Poem is said to be, is compared to a thief of charity, laughter, sweetness, and joy. Here, Red is compared to a thief. Looking deeper, one notices that if rage could make one not to be able to be, if rage can prevent you from being charitable, what has he done? He has succeeded in stealing that particular thing. You see it now. So that's a metaphor. Then we also see rhetorical question. Rhetorical question. And this is a question that does not demand an answer. In Ajuzum Kanjo, we are asking the question, but there is no answer for that particular question. You also see this in the poem in lines 1, 2, 3, and 21. You will see them in the poem. Let's see. And this rhetorical question in line 1, 2, and 3, they emphasize on the importance of essence of life. Look at it. It says, but what can be worthy of your life? Is there any answer for that? What dearer than the gems of your dreams? Then the other one says, the reason you are here. Look at it. They are all rhetorical questions, and they are used to emphasize on the importance of essence of life, the reason you are living. That's why that rhetorical question is there. Then also the one in line 21 says, can ruin lag behind? And this one is also used to emphasize on the fact that rage is always accompanied by destruction. Yes, whenever you see rage, definitely destruction tags along. So that's the emphasis of that rhetorical question. Then the other one is enjambment. Enjambment is also one of the literary devices. This poetic device carries over an idea right into the next line. Yes, the idea is continuous. How do I mean? The idea is continued into the next line so that the ideas are connected. There are some points where you are reading it, you not even know where it starts and where it ends. The ideas will be jumbled like that. But enjambment, the ideas flows. Right after this line, it continues into the next line. Let's see instances of this. In line 3 to 4, you will see, always strive to fly flags of joy. Right? To fly flags of joy and sail upstream. It continues. Put on the flag and be flying, be moving. Cheerful face and be moving. Alright? And while you are moving, the other one says, power by the breeze of love. As you are moving, you are cheerful, you are happy. The idea is there, continuous. It continues, sorry. So that's what enjambment does. And you see a lot of these, line 3 to 4, 4 to 5, the idea keeps on splitting into the next line. 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Also coming to 7 and 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 10, and just like that. That's even the reason the poem is more understandable. So splitting up the idea right into the next line. Then we have imagery. Imagery is the next one. And what does this one do? This is used to create mental pictures in the minds of the reader. And this could be, it can be able to appeal to sense of sight. What you see, what does it do? So that you really get the idea of what that poet is talking about. Use things to drive home the particular message. In this poem, we have a visual imagery of Powered by the breeze of love, chartered in the ink of compassion. And what does this imagery do? This imagery describes the picture of man, how he is supposed to live a life filled with love and happiness. Paints that picture, how he's supposed to live a worthy life of happiness. Alright? Another imagery here is fly flags of joy and sail upstream. This one, we get the imagery from making journey through the sea. Using journey, putting your flag in a ship. Alright, just use the picture, how the wind will be directing to follow the flag. To be making sure that your ship is moving towards the right direction. So it uses the imagery of travel. Alright, and the last one is the structure. The structure, how is the poem arranged? Looking at it, how is it arranged? And here you find out that the poem is made up of 23 lines of 5 stanzas. You know what is stanza? Stanza 1, stanza 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the first and the last stanza are 4 lines each. Look at the poem, you see it. The first one and the last stanza, they are made up of 4 lines. While the second, the third, and the fourth stanza are made up of 5 lines of irregular rhyme scheme. The poem is made up of 23 lines of 5 stanzas. The first stanza says the fundamentals of human life. That's happiness and always to maintain it. That's the first stanza. The second stanza, the third and fourth stanza, acknowledges anger as the destroyer of the essence of life. Check it out in the poem, you look at it, you see it there. Then the last stanza, however, admonishes one to take caution not to fall victim to anger by thinking and acting positively. Alright? That is the structure of the poem. Okay? I think we're going to stop here. Then, this is something you're going to write. Number 1, comment on the use of enjambment. Comment on the use of enjambment. You elaborate, give us examples and talk about them. Then also you can critically examine rage in the poem as a destroyer and a thief. These are the 2 questions you are going to answer. Thank you.